Hi and welcome back to my playthrough of Unsettled. During the last episode I was actually making some progress, so we were able to grab one of those tentacles, and keep in mind we need to get rid of those and basically bringing them to a space with a toxic spore cloud in order to progress our scenario. We need to do that 4 times and then I think we can progress. Not sure if there is a last subtask or not. I could imagine maybe the last card simply says move back to the scarab. Who knows? It's an introductory kind of scenario, so I really do hope it's not or doesn't have too many surprises in stock for us. With that being said, Lucy is still the starting player, and I think right now there is no reason not to simply move her here to the workshop, because there we could get rid of our very first toxic spore cloud here. Right now we don't have to do anything fancy with Luna, so yeah, with our free movement we will move her here. We will take this thing, we will place it in here, and we will simply remove this, putting it next to our scenario card so that we know we are 25% on our way to the next task or whatever will come. That was the free movement. We can still do stuff with Luna. And I forgot to do 2 things. Of course, when we moved up here, we need to remember our edge symbols here. So first of all, we will have to advance time, but we also gained 1 insight. So we also gain 1 comprehension. That's for robotics. So let's see what card we get. And that's the deploy mini tractor beam, which for 1 data apparently allows us to have Luna pull an explorer from an adjacent node onto her node, ignoring all node edge symbols. Yeah, that's helpful. Problem is we don't have any data in our stockpile or in our database, that is. But yeah, let's try to remember that. But I think now we have to let's go with chemistry so that we have, or she will have, all the comprehension. I think this definitely does help. And in theory, if we would now move over here, and again I keep forgetting these things, guys. Of course, when she left out, we would have to bring 1 toxic spore cloud in here. Apologies for that. But again, if you would now move her over here, again, we would gain another tentacle actually. And then we can get rid of the tentacle right here. Of course, we have to kind of artificially move. And now it's really a bummer. But we can now play things trickier. So instead of simply traversing over, we could try to analyze some data here. Let's do that. So with her first real action, basically using her die, she will use her awareness die, and this again allows her to analyze data from that's from Luna's node. Is that correct? Analyze data. Here it says Luna's node. So doesn't it come from our node? And indeed that's the case. I just checked the rules. It doesn't really matter too much because we have 2 data in here too. But yeah, of course you have to pay attention properly. Unearthed materials really needs to happen on where the scientists are. But for actual data, yeah, Luna will do the analysis. And yeah, that's okay. So we have gathered, or basically have put some data into our database, and we can use it right away. So in theory, we could still traverse over, but I guess spending now 1 data and using the mini tractor beam to pull someone over, I think that's the better deal actually. That's the better deal. Yes, we will also ignore the node edge symbols. So right now these are good symbols actually, but I still think that it's worth it getting or not getting the insight here. Yeah, let's do that. So we are spending 1 data to use this ability. We can use it once per turn, but when it's then Tom's turn, she can use the same thing again. So she will be pulled over. We are not spending any dice. We will gather, because we have left this note here, we will gather 1 of those. It would go into our inventory, but because there is a toxic spore cloud, we can right off the bat put it in here. I'm pretty sure that that's the correct timing of things. The only problem now is we need to do that 2 more times, basically sending someone in here, leave the space, take 1 with us. But I think that's not really a problem at this point in time, because again, we could traverse over. We would gain then the insight here. I think that's what we need to do now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the right move. So let's put the proper die in here, because we have used the right die. We would gain one insight. We will move over. We have crossed the node edge symbol. So overall, we get 1, 2 of those. And of course, I noticed when entering, if you don't possess fungal host, she does have the fungal host. So she was not affected by this additional distress here. Yeah, I think we can still do stuff with Luna. Of course, we could leave her here just to track Tom down, but Tom doesn't want to go here because of this ability. He doesn't want to deal with any distress at this point in time. So maybe we either move Luna over here and then maybe someone else can scan for some more data, or we will maybe move down here just to see what's there. On the other hand, we could also prepare her to move the others here, but I really like her here because she can then pull her over again. I think she has to stay here. She has to stay here. So she will simply scan for some data. We have gotten rid of everything. It's only one. It's a pity. And yeah, we can still do more stuff, right? And I think we should. And here I'm tempted to use both of her breakthrough cards here. First of all, we were spending 1 energy. We still have 2 left afterwards to bump 2 of our focus up. So let's do this and the other one, the analyze data here. So we have used this here on her turn. Then we could still gather some materials. The thing is, we have 2 materials in our stockpile. And right now we don't need an awful lot of those. I could imagine that having the energy now for this breakthrough card here might be the better deal. And the same is true for Tom's ability. So I guess we are not doing anything else. No, let's not do that actually. And then yeah, let's end her turn. So we are moving this down here, so this goes up to a 3. We are losing 1 more time, and now this thing becomes a problem. And now, oh no, I noticed something. Of course, leaving Luna here is actually a stupid idea. And we can still take her action. I mean, she just placed her 3rd die. You end your turn when you regroup your die, so she can still move Luna, because moving her over here, there will never be any more of those toxic spore clouds because of that tentacle. Let's move her over here, and then maybe someone will move her up there or down there. Doesn't really matter too much, but I think that's the better deal for Luna. Yes, and we can still move Luna down using the workshop later on. Yeah, I think this works. Cool. No, this works pretty cool. Then let's regroup. So we will move all our dice back, moving over to Tom's turn. The thing with Tom is he's really low on focus, but that's no wonder, because again, Lucy has all these cool abilities to up her focus, so especially the cerebral cortex shock. So what are we going to do with him now? I mean, he still has this momentum here. He could go for yet another anomaly, and maybe this anomaly would then give him the fungal host ability too, so then he wouldn't be so worried moving down here, for example, because again, there's really not a hell of a lot he can do right now, so we might as well do that. Yeah, why not? So we are going with what are we going with? Let's go with the awareness die, placing it here, moving it down, so he gains 2 insight, bringing him, no, I think he's not really close right now, but that's fine. We are drawing an anomaly card here for this ball, and that's again the powdery. Chemistry must be present, that's not a problem, and yeah, we can discard it to all explore within 1 node will lose their distress. So this could be pretty amazing actually, if he does. I mean, we're getting it anyway. I mean, there is no question asked, and I think you can have multiples of the same. And now, that's not tempting to move him down, but moving him down here would allow him to use this vacuum up fine particles to get rid of her distress, because then they are within 1 node. Then he could still gather some materials, for example. So I think we have to remove No, I think it stays here until the end of his turn, actually. That's a good idea, maybe. Do we want to spend more time now? I mean, how problematic is this? Because there are, he could use the pearlescent slurry to ignore all time symbols. And maybe we need to start doing this, actually. So if we move down, maybe we should do that now. I think we have to be very careful with time now. So he will use his free movement down here. Before he moves, he will use this ingest pearlescent slurry. So we have to spend one material. He will play it on himself, so he can then ignore these time symbols. He still gets the insight from this move, but we can ignore the time symbols. So we cannot be hurt here. There are no toxic spore clouds. Cool. And then I guess we are discarding this one here, the powdery. And again, all explorers with a node will lose one distress. Awesome. So this goes back to the pile. They're all the same. So we have dealt with that. This goes back in here, and I think this one simply gets discarded. Also a free action. Nice. Nice. I think... Oh no! I'm not paying attention, guys. No. I have moved over here. Sorry for that, because again, if I would have entered here, then that's a problem. We still get the insight, we still get the, we still didn't use our time. It's pretty much the same thing. We are still adjacent to her, but yeah, we have to move in here. Problem is we are now here on this space, but I guess we can deal with that. And maybe I should have showed you. So instead of moving down here, we move down there, because again, when entering, this is a bad ability. This one is cool, so we are not losing anything. So here we have the toxic spore cloud, but if Lucy now will move in here before it's his turn, he should be okay too. No, I think that's fair. Then we still have one more action left. In theory, he could even move down, but would that help him in any way? Would that help him with a traverse action, that is? Maybe not. So let's use the traverse die here, moving it down. This will give him the material into the stockpile. And yeah, in theory, could now spend one of those to use the laboratory, but yeah, I think this doesn't really help me. Spending one to gain one, this really didn't help us. So I think for him, that's fair. Of course, we can still move Luna, and let's do that. I should have okay, that was bad. I should have moved Luna and then did stuff. But in this case, we will scan for... No. Let's go for material again. I think that's fine. That's 2 more material on Luna's node. That's fine. And I guess then we are ending his turn, which means this goes back up. We are losing 1 time. Again, we are wrapping around. We are losing 1 more. Again, if all of our explorers move down here to the purple space or the pink space, yeah, we have automatically lost the game here. And again, I keep forgetting, we should have placed 1 cube here because he left that space, but that's fine. During Lucy's turn, she will go for the tractor beam again, right? Deploy mini tractor beam. So we have to spend 1 data. We have used this. So this will allow her to move her up. And again, we can ignore those time symbols here. Again, we do the same thing. She was leaving the space. We are moving it here. So we have now already 3 out of 4 of those tokens deployed. That's really not terrible. This also means that he is safe now. Great. Then she will apply the cerebral shock, so we will have to spend 1 energy. In this case, we give it to Tom, moving his 2 dice 1 pip up each. Okay, I like that. So we have not really used any of her free moves. We haven't done stuff with Luna. So let's do that now. So she will move Luna down. And I guess then we will also directly use Luna's ability. So we will analyze the data. So we will bring it down here, which means we are taking 2 of those data and moving it into our database. Cool. Before we now use our free movement down here, we don't want to spend any more time. I think Tom again will use his ingest pearlescent slurry, which means we have to spend one of our materials, so she can now ignore those time symbols for the rest of our turn. So she will move down here with our free, or with her free move. Awesome. And I think we could end it now actually, or at least this task, because we will bring this down. This will go down 1 pip because we used it. We gain 1 more insight. She gains 1 more insight now because she's crossing over this. She will be able to ignore this edge symbol because again, this pearlescent slurry counts for the entirety of the turn. Amazing stuff. Same thing would have happened. One of those things would have stick to her. We are removing this, so we have basically dealt with our task, which means we are flipping this to the other side, and let's see what happens. And yes, there is more, or there are more things to do, so we will go down. Okay, but what's cool? Welcome to the fungi. Anyone else hearing Extra Rose now? Good news, the spore clouds appear to be under control thanks to tiny tentacles, and we also get our group trust up, which is nice. Other news, tiny tentacles aren't really a thing anymore because the nest has matured into a teeming swarm of giant tentacle terrors. Return all of the tiny tentacles tokens back to the nest. They have now grown into giant tentacle terrors that no longer feed on spore clouds and no longer have our respect. At the start of every single turn, place a tentacle token on the node adjacent to the nest, then move all tentacles not on the nest 2 spaces towards the nearest explorer. In case of a tie, they move toward the tied option who will next be or is currently active. Okay. If a tentacle terror reaches an explorer, it secretes its brain venom and explodes, causing 1 distress to that explorer. Return that token to the nest. Are you kidding me? Okay, what's our job now? We've got fungal games. Yeah, of course. Right, enough of this. It's time to get real about getting food and getting out. Obtain 6 materials from nodes using the unearth action, placing them in the boxes below. You may not use we cannot use the materials already in the stockpile. Once the boxes are filled, you may process them at a laboratory with the appropriate comprehension present. So we need chemistry, robotics and engineering, and this one here, we need to do that on a space with our laboratory. When the focus cube is removed from the process edibles action, discard the materials and advance. That's really nasty. So again, that's now kind of a problem that our laboratory is over here. In theory, we could tear it down. With 1 action, we can destroy it with 1 time and 1 action, and then can build it somewhere else. But right now, all the others are somewhere here. Of course, we could destroy both of them and then build it here. This would be the logical choice. And if I would play this game or the scenario again relatively soon and I would be able to remember, then yes, for sure, I would go for this laboratory here in the very first space. But yeah, live and learn, as they say, right? But yeah, good thing is our trust is high again, but it won't take long before it goes down again, because again, anytime you get a distress, the group trust goes down 1 step, and there are basically only these 2 steps. Then we need to remove all of those tiny tentacles. There are no horror tentacles back into the nest, and from there they will start moving toward us, if I understood that correctly. And anytime they hit us, we remove 1 and we get a distress. Problem is, time is now our worst concern actually. Okay, the next problem I see now is we have to end our turn, so I think there's really nothing we need to do. I don't know. But we can move it here. Problem is, we cannot move it higher than a 3. That was really a waste. We will lose 1 more time. And then, let's simply regroup. We want to hold on to our energy for now. Yeah, let's do that. So everything will untap. And then, we are moving over to Tom. The thing now is, I guess now, or the rules about those toxic spore clouds are still in motion, I guess, right? Because, I think so, because we have removed those and they are no longer feeding on this toxic spore cloud. So we are now at the start of every single turn, which means it's Tom's turn. So we are spawning one of those spore tentacles, horror or terror tentacles. It will move up to 2 spaces towards the nearest scientist, and in case of a tie we are going for the active explorer. So this guy will go down, which means Tom is getting a distress. We can untap this one here, and yeah, I guess it's either theorize or investigate. Let's go for the theorize action for now. When gained, our group task goes down again. I marked that off camera. So we have dealt with the start of turn events. And I believe we have to move as quickly as possible, right? So we will do the unearth materials action with Tom. Luckily, he brought it down. We are able to collect 2 of those from his node. There are 2 here, and I think for sure we will put them both next to our thing. We need 4 more. Then we can still use Luna. I think we are not going to move her. We will simply have her scan for more material now. That's only a 1, but okay, 1 is still okay, I guess. So again, we are not moving her because we can still use her to move her up without using a die. And I guess we can still use this. Okay, we should be okay. In theory, we could bring him down. The problem is he will then suffer the time. Yeah, we can get basically bypass that, but we would also place a toxic spore cloud in here, and I think this doesn't help him. Yeah, these toxic spore clouds are a pest actually. I mean, the card says the spore clouds appear to be under control, but I really think that's only flavor. So we are not really removing the rule, otherwise it would really clearly say so. Yeah, you're no longer spawning toxic spore clouds at the start of your turn or so. Maybe I'm playing it too hard on myself. There was 1 error before, but I don't know. So I really don't know what to do. I could scan for data, which could be helpful. He could get rid of his powdery, getting rid of the distress, but I think we can use it better. What are we doing now with his second action? He cannot do this something there. We have to use those dice. That much is clear. And maybe we want to generate some more power. This could make sense actually. Yeah, let's do that. Actually, we can do that anywhere. The dynamo. So we are bringing this down. This goes to the time symbol, and this gives us 2 more energy. For now, I want to stay here because we can still use that energy later on. Oh no, I have to stick it here. We can use that energy to move someone else too with the help of one of his breakthrough cards. Yeah. So I guess we are going to rest. So this goes up to a 2. We will lose 1 more time. We are regrouping accordingly. And then, yeah, moving back to Lucy. Again, we will spore 1 of those. Now she is the active player, which means she now gets 1 distress. Ooh, that's problematic. And I guess let's go with the theorize action for now. Again, when gained, we will lose 1 group trust. Problem is our group trust is already low, so we have to distribute 2 focus hits. So we will give 1 here and 1 here because she can use her cerebral cortex. So she will take the full hit from that distress. Yes, let's do that. We will spend 1 data to use the deploy mini tractor beam. Again, we can ignore those edge symbols, and that's another time we have saved ourselves. So Luna is dragging her upward here, and then she will use her perform augmented yank. So we have to spend 1 energy, and with that we can basically harvest 2 materials from this node or adjacent node, and of course we will place those 2 next to our card here. As a free action, Tom will now discard his powdery here, the vacuum up fine particles. All explorers within 1 node will now lose the distress, so I will take care of those, both of them. I think that was important, and that's now a tough one. I guess we are Scanning for material here or up there. That's now the problem. We could move Luna over here actually and do it from here, but we need to stay close to the laboratory, which could be Tom. Doesn't really matter who gathers this material actually. Yeah, this is also a generic stockpile. Yes, so he could stay here and she could start moving back actually. So this could be a thing. So if we do it here, and we really need to roll well, but then we can use her ability again. Yeah, let's do that. So we will move Luna over here, then she will scan, and she has still the fungal host. Yeah, she can, so Lucy can move in there. And that's 2. Perfect. Okay, I think that's pretty amazing. Or is it? Oh, is it? Is it? Okay. This was bad. I think I should have done that here because then, oh, that's so bad. So maybe no, maybe we have to move Lucy up here actually. I think so. I think we have to move Lucy up here. I think this was really a problem now. Would you allow me a mulligan now? But I rolled now. I really should have stayed here. Then she could have harvested both of those. So let's do that. Come on, let's cheat a little bit. So we will basically place them here. So Luna didn't move yet. I think this was really stupid, and again, is basically on me. Because now Lucy can use her ability now to unearth those materials, which means we are bringing those up there. We have our 6 materials now. Yes. I guess there is no point now leaving her here, so she can in theory move over here with her free move. She gains an insight, which is another comprehension. This is now a chemistry comprehension, the first for her as far as yeah, it's the first one here, and that's apply gooey fungal salve. So for one of those we can now local explorer gains plus and is immune to distress from spore clouds effects this turn. Okay, that's pretty cool, but that's only for local explorers, but okay, I take it. And now, yeah, doesn't really matter too much. I think we will continue this way here because again our comprehension is now full, and I think whenever we are exchanged, but I'm pretty happy now with what I have, what she has actually, so we are basically going through the same thing here again, and we can discard anything we want. That's really totally on us. Cool stuff. She still has one more action, so she could now debate moving in here to start running towards the ship now, and then she could still bump this because this would allow her to really take all the distress hits actually. That's not bad at all. So yeah, let's have her traverse with whatever die. So she will use this one here. This goes down. She will get 1 insight for that, but doesn't really matter too much. She will get 2 more insight for moving over here. Yes, in theory that's kind of a problem, but for now I'm okay with that. I'm really okay. So, and then are we doing more? She could still go for the cerebral cortex shock now, but I guess she is okay. Let's have her use the cerebral shock here. So this will cost her 1 energy, and I guess let's bring this one up, and let's also bring the green one up, and I think then we are regrouping. Now really the main problem is time will run out, but let's see about that. Let's move back to Tom, and of course I keep forgetting we will have some more of those in here, but for now that's okay I guess. But now this guy will spawn, will move up to Tom. He will get another distress. I will put it back on the theorize action. Again, I have to assign 2 hits. And again, I think she will take both of her hits because again, she has the cerebral shock thingy and she's on the right space. So she should be okay taking the distrust or the group trust hit. Tom is currently here. He will spend a die. Does it matter which die? I think it does not too much. So we will spend this die here. Placing it here, we will discard the materials. Pretty sure this is how it's done. And when the focus cube is removed from the process edibles action, discard the materials in advance. Okay, we will do that basically when he is regrouping. Okay, I guess he has to move now, and now I regret not having him. Oh, that's bad. We don't want to lose any more time, that's the thing. And I want to move Luna over here with her free movement. And again, because we have the workshop here, we can spend now an energy to move Luna up. And I think that's what we need to do now. So we will spend 1 energy to move Luna 1 adjacent space. Then we will use Lucy's ability. She can use it again to spend the last data to pull Tom over here. Again, we can ignore those edge icons, and he has the rare polymers, which means we are getting 2 more energy up here. Okay, he didn't really use any of his movement yet. I guess he still has to move in here with his free movement. Doesn't know, there are no edge icons whatsoever. And then we still have a die. What are we going to do with the die? The problem is, if I now move down here, we will lose 2 time, and that's a problem. That's truly a problem. And the main problem I see here is we still have at least 2 more time symbols here too. I mean, he could now go for the ingest slurry, but will he be able to make it there actually? I mean, we have 1 more round, right? I think he has to move down here. I think it's already impossible anyway. I think we will lose it now by 1 turn or so, and that's pretty lame actually. But I think that's what it is, right? Maybe, okay, but I think we have to move down here. I cannot spend any more time. So we have to use our last material now on this space to bring him down. And then we have to spend an energy to traverse down actually. So we have used this. Again, right now we assign it to him. This only means he can now basically move without spending any time here on these time units. I think we still need some energy for this. So we are using the die, moving it down, and this gives us the material back. It's not the energy, it's the material back. Cool. Then we will use this one here, the Hormonal Blast. An explorer within 1 node of you may take a standard traverse action for free. I think that also counts for him. So he will move down here, and again, he can ignore those time symbols. Boah, that's oh, that's so bad. Yeah, I think we will still get another distress now, and I guess this will actually kill us. But I guess we could be okay. We could be okay. And then, yeah, I think he has to rest, bring this die up. This is okay, I guess. This is okay. We will lose 1 more time, which for now is still okay. And then we will regroup, which means all of those will reactivate. All those dice come back, which also means we've got fungal games. That's also now basically, yeah, it's solved. So we are flipping this now to the final side, and yeah, let's see what we need to do. A farewell to many arms. All things considered, what with us still being alive and all, this could have gone worse. No stick here couldn't have been stickier, but could have been worse. That said, it's probably time we try our hand at being alive somewhere else. The tentacle terrors continue each turn. Spawn 1 and move 2 spaces toward the nearest explorer. Get the crew and Luna and all explorers onto the scarab as soon as the crew is aboard. Congratulations, you have survived. So basically we have to move to the scarab now. Problem is now we will spawn we will spawn 1 more of those dudes. This will move 1-2 spaces here, which gives another distress to poor Lucy. Again, we will put it onto the thing, and then someone has to take 2 hits, and in this case it has to be Tom. Yeah, let's do that. So we have dealt with this strange horror tentacle. I believe one thing I should have done, and again that's me playing alone, I would, or she would have used the fungal host now. Basically she can use it really anytime. So we are now basically removing this and that from here. But that's a problem. Then she cannot do this. Do we need to do this? No, I think we don't. So we will get rid of those, so we are not taking any more distress hits from these toxic spore clouds. I think that's pretty important. She really should have done that during the end of his turn or so. I really didn't pay attention enough, but that's totally on me. The main problem still is around Luna now, bringing Luna back. That's the one piece I missed actually. So let's simply move Luna 1 space over for now. Again, Lucy could have gone for this one here, but then this thing would have hit her, or she would have gotten the distress. We would have gotten a hallucination. So far we were okay. So what are we going to do now? I guess we could be able to win this now, actually. No, we can, because of Luna. Oh, that's so bad. Yeah, we have a problem. We will not get Luna over here in time. We need 1, 2, 3 energy moving Luna over. Are you kidding me? No, I think we can't do this. On the other hand, Tom still has the rare polymers, which he can discard anytime, and then someone has to take this hit. I think it doesn't have to be him, actually. On the other hand, it doesn't matter too much either, because now they're local explorer. It doesn't really matter too much who is spent. Oh, let's do that. So we are discarding this. Come on, go back. This goes back. Someone has to take a hit, and we will, I think it's anyone. So she will take this hit here for now. And this allows us to up the energy, basically to full capacity. Yeah, here it's the plus. Everything is here. Then Tom is using his pearlescent slurry to get rid of the last material, so she can now ignore time symbols on those edge border icon or border sections of the nodes. She will use 1 energy to use her cerebral shock, and I guess let's do this and this. I guess it doesn't really matter too much anymore. Next, she will traverse, moving over here, taking Tom with us. Again, we are ignoring time symbols. Yes, she would gain this, but I couldn't care less, actually. And then Tom will use the Discharge Hormonal Plus, and Explorer within 1 node of you may take a standard traverse action for free. So we have to spend yet another energy, and she is now traversing and taking him with me. So they are now both back, and again we are ignoring those time symbols for the entirety of the turn. And then, wow, we will spend 1, 2, 3 energy to move Luna 1, 2, 3 spaces back to the scarab, which means crew is present in the scarab. Yeah, so about this food, we are not really hungry. We survive for now. Wow, what a ride, with 1 energy left, and I believe with 1 time left. So even if she wouldn't be able to do that, she would still be able, he would still be able to do stuff. So maybe one way or the other we should have been able to manage that. But really, material was our savior in this case, because if we wouldn't be able to use Tom's ability here, we would have been toast. I mean, these 2 edge icons here, those time symbols would have actually killed us. And yeah, getting the energy at the right moment was also so incredibly important. I am pretty sure that I will catch a goof or something I forgot during editing, and if I did, I apologize here, but for now I'm kind of happy with with the outcome here. Yes, I know I cheated a little bit back here when Luna moved and shouldn't have you, but again, it's me playing 2 explorers for the first time on camera, so give me a break, will ya? I'm really happy to have made it that far. I'm pretty sure I have messed up at one point during this video. There was a lot of back and forth, and I was carried away with the progress. So overall, a great experience. Really enjoyed this ride, a big deal. And yeah, that's pretty much how you play Unsettled, visiting planet Wenora. So I guess when you know some of the things now, and again, if I would play this game again today, tomorrow, or this week, I would remember some of the stuff, especially the laboratory. I would have placed somewhere else already closer, because I would have known, okay, we need the laboratory somewhere here, getting away from these terror tentacles. So I'm pretty sure, yes, this game is beatable. Again, if I goofed something up here, then whatever, I will leave a note and say, okay, I have lost whatever. But for me, it was really all about the exploration piece, and this is where the game shines. At some point in time, it really switched to this puzzle kind of thing. The timing of these special abilities and breakthrough cards is absolutely key, but also really cool. I can only only imagine the chaos when you play this with full 4 players, where everyone has partially some of those breakthrough cards and anomalies and whatnot. It's already pretty challenging. I wouldn't play this game alone with 3 or 4 characters. Even the 2-1 that I had here was pretty challenging, actually. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed it. Huge shout out to all of my patrons out there, and also the channel members, obviously. Really do appreciate all your support. If you want to support my little channel here, you will find a link to my Patreon. Again, you can join my community here on YouTube. Like and subscribe, leave a comment. Everything helps. And yeah, hope to see you soon in one of my other videos. And until then, bye bye.